A study by Ripple found that 90% of global finance experts think that blockchain technology and digital assets will have a big effect on the financial sector in the next 3 years. For those who own XRP, we warmly invite you to return to the crypto channel. As always, thank you all. It's clear that the time has come for this. Today is such an important day. If we are being honest, we have been looking forward to this for 2 weeks, and now it has finally arrived. There is no doubt that a great deal of people just want to finish this matter. A lot of experts agree that nothing bad will happen. Rates are also going down. A lot of things are still the same, but we won't know for sure what will happen until the meeting is over. We can see that things are happening in many places when we look at the market as a whole. As I said before, I don't think this is a big surprise for people who watch cryptocurrency. Except for a few famous cases. As a whole, the market is down between 5 and 6%. Everything considered, the price of XRP has gone down by about 1.8% in USD compared to where it is now, which is $313. The price has dropped by 1%, just like Bitcoin. To get an idea of how much something is worth, think about how $185.3 billion in business in just 24 hours is equal to about $5.7 billion. But I want to make it clear that nothing that is. The content on this channel is meant to be taken as financial help. Just like with any other investment, you should always do your own study before putting any money into cryptocurrency. As you can see in the open interest chart, the percentage of people who own Ethereum is getting closer and closer to 40%. This is the highest it has been since April 2023, which is longer than any other month since then. 2 years ago, this event happened at the same time that buyers started to shift their focus from Bitcoin to Ethereum. People who are shocked by this news should calm down. The change we're seeing in the movement of ETFs is something we've been talking about. So now you know that exchange-traded funds, ETFs, are more interested in the growth of Ethereum than Bitcoin. To say it again, that's not something we've seen in about 18 months. An enormous amount of interest exists in Ethereum, as shown by the record amounts of money being invested in the cryptocurrency. This can all be traced back to big asset managers like BlackRock. When you talk about Ethereum, you're talking about real-world assets, and as you all know, RWAs are a subject that is talked about a lot in this business. Will this really be the big change we're seeing? That's the question. So far, it looks like Ethereum has been able to keep building on its progress. There is a good chance that Ethereum will start to bounce back sooner than most people think. This will have an effect on the market as a whole, which is also why supply is going down. Remember this. This is really, really important news. This is what Paul Atkins said. I'm happy to say that the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, has said that cryptocurrency exchange-traded funds, ETFs, and exchange-traded product securities, ETPs, can be sold in the same way that cash can be. For all U.S. buyers, this permission will lead to the creation of a sensible legal framework for cryptocurrencies. This will make the market bigger and busier, which is good for everyone. If you're still not sure what this means, you should know that the exchange-traded funds ETFs are now live and that there are 2 spot ETFs at the moment. This is the end of the conversation about Bitcoin and Ethereum. If you want to sell your exchange-traded fund, ETF, you can basically turn it back into Bitcoin or Ethereum. This is called giving and receiving in kind. The opposite is also true, which is important because let's say you want to buy an exchange-traded fund, ETF, assuming you had planned to buy an ETF before this. It makes sense for you to have a paper currency that you have now turned into an exchange-traded fund. This is a big step forward because now exchange-traded funds, ETFs, can buy Bitcoin and Ethereum can also buy ETFs. The event doesn't happen later than it does now. Does this make a difference? The price is still very close to both Bitcoin and the ETF. The exchange-traded fund, ETF, price stays pretty close to the prices of Bitcoin and Ethereum. Even more important news that a lot of people don't know is that hedge funds and other big players are now more likely to use cryptocurrency exchange-traded funds, or ETFs. People are more likely to pay attention to something if they are already doing it. Remember that this makes it possible for other exchange-traded funds, ETFs, to be approved in the future. When those ETFs are approved, which is something that a lot of people are looking forward to, XRP will be one of the ETFs that will be accepted along with Solana. This will also be the case for these when they come out, and I'm sure it will be the case for most exchange-traded funds, ETFs, that they come out with in the future. You can say what you think about this news in the leave a comment below. From my own experience, I think it is one of the most important ones and a big step in the right way. Please tell me what you think without a question in the comments block. Because of this, you might want to watch a CNBC show about XRP. Executives at Ethereum have said that hundreds of millions of dollars have been invested in the company's most successful fund to date. They call it the XRP Army, and he talks about why they saw the chance and chose to focus all of their efforts on XRP swaps. He also thinks that XRP could be the next exchange-traded fund, ETF, to go live. We think that a lot of them will be cleared because the SEC has a limit at the end of the third quarter or the start of the fourth quarter. It is possible that they agree with all of them in the same way. There's no proof for what I think, but if I'm right, that would be a big step in the right way. Anyway, do all of you agree with that, or do you think you'll find out one by one if they all agree before you? Here. Please say what you think. On the other hand, important people are paying attention to you. It's clear that every day more and more big companies around the world are buying XRP just to hold on to it. Additionally, I really hope that you are paying attention to that if you aren't already, because it shows you where things are going. Now, though, look at this. This change is happening right now. Blockchain technology is getting money from banking. Places of work. Since 2020, more than $100 billion has been put into blockchain companies. In the past 5 years, $700 billion worth of fixed coins have been spent every month. By 2033, $18 trillion is expected to have been tokenized. This will be possible through new use cases and smart investment partnerships. We worked with CB Insights and UKCBT on our most recent study, which shows how financial institutions are shaping the future. Besides that, there is the smart move. A lot of people are interested in and paying attention to the area of digital assets. I want everyone to read this piece if they want to learn more. But a wall to keep more P after from Bitcoin and the market as a whole from getting to people who are negative. The way people feel changes more often than the prices of coins. Do not change the facts that are clear. This makes it easy to stay in touch with the world around us. People who have kept XRP for a People who have done it for a long time have usually found it to be a good investment. Do not just